Hello students, I hope you all are well. Welcome to the session of online teaching. Today our first topic is active and passive voice. Students, you all are known to this chapter. You already read the rules regarding this chapter. Now little bit extended portion is there that we have to focus. Already you are known to this chapter, but firstly we will revise the previous rules whatever you have already done. So first of all, let's see what is active and what is passive voice. Voice, active voice, when subject is the doer of the action, that is called active. For example, when we are saying Sumit repaired the car, here Sumit is a doer of the action, means the subject, and repaired is the action, is the verb that is done by Sumit. The car, that is the receiver of the action, means object which is receiving the action. So first Sumit is agent or the subject, repaired is the action done by Sumit, and the car is the receiver of the action. So action is done by Sumit. So this is called active form. When the doer of the action, subject of the action, doing the action, and we are saying that. So this is called active voice. And when we are saying the car was repaired by Sumit, this is called passive voice, because here the receiver of the action is the subject. This is the subject is the receiver of the action. So then it is called a passive voice. So now you understood, in passive voice subject will become object and object will become subject, means receiver of the action comes in front of the place and the main agent who did the action will come at the end of the sentence after by. That is the passive voice. So this is active voice and passive voice. The voice of the verb indicate whether its subject is doer or the receiver of the action. When agent is at the front and we are talking about the action done by the subject, then this is active voice. And when the receiver of the action come in the front and we are talking about the action which is done, which is affected the receiver, then it is called passive voice. So first rule of the active and passive voice is, when we have to change active to passive voice, that is subject become objects and object become subject. This is the first rule regarding active and passive voice. Now we have to see what are the rules regarding the formation of passive voice. Firstly we will revise the previous whatever you have done. So now according to the rules, formation of passive voice will be changed like this. First of all, if the active voice is in simple present tense, means he plants a tree, this is simple present tense. When we have to change it into passive voice, your subject is here he and object is a tree. So object will come in the front and subject will become at the last, but it will not be he. When it will come at the last, it will change to him. So now it will change like this: a tree is planted by him. So the rule is regarding that. What is the formation of the passive voice in simple present tense? That is object, means subject which is become the object, now come in the front, it became a subject, plus isma according to the subject, plus verbs third form, plus by, and plus that is subject. Whatever subject was there, now it become a object. So this is the formation of passive voice in simple present tense. Got it? This is the formation of simple present tense in passive voice. That is passive voice. Now second. Now see the second example. If it is in simple past tense, means he planted a tree. Now the verb, which one is plants, it become a planted. He planted a tree. Now same way, subject, object, object, subject. A tree was or were planted by him. Another thing will be same, only the verb will be changed. So in simple past tense, the formation will be like that. Subject will become object, object will become subject. Same thing, subject plus was, were plus verb's third form plus by plus object. So this is the format to change the passive voice from simple past tense. Now the third is present continuous. That is present continuous form. Let's see. Here it is given. Now he is planting a tree, or are. Is or are is given, planting. Then how we have to change it? Again, subject will become object, object will become subject, is or are according to the subject, then being planted. The formation will become like that. Subject plus is or are plus being plus verb's third form plus by and plus object. So this is the formation in present continuous. Now next is present perfect tense. Side by side you can see present past continuous also. If it is in past continuous, then how will be the formation? Then subject plus was, were plus being plus verb's third form plus by plus object. So continuous we have seen together. This is present continuous and this is past continuous. Got it? Firstly we have seen present, simple present and then simple past. Now we have seen present continuous and past continuous. Future continuous, there is no passive voice for future continuous. Got it? This you have to keep in your mind. For future continuous, there is no passive voice. Now let's see the next. Now we will see the present perfect. If present perfect is there, the sentence will become like that. He has planted a tree. He has planted a tree. Or if plural is there, then it will come they have planted a tree. So then how we will have to change? Again, subject will become object, object will become subject. Has, have according to the sentence, and then been planted according to the subject. So let's see the formation in present perfect. Subject plus has, have according to the subject. If it is singular, has. If it is plural, then have. Plus been plus verb's third form plus by and then object. So this is in present perfect. Now let's see the past perfect also. This is present perfect. Now let's see past perfect. So here also subject will become object, object will become subject. Then here in place of has, have, had will come plus been plus verb's third form plus by plus object. Here if it is subject is singular plural, then in both cases had will come, because there is no changes in this form of verb according to the subject. So this is the rule regarding past perfect. It will become had been planted. Now for the present perfect continuous and past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous, there is no passive voice. There is no passive voice of these four forms. You have to keep in your mind. Now let's see next simple future. So simple future, if the sentence is like that, he will plant a tree or we shall plant a tree. This is simple future. He will or we shall plant a tree. Again, there will be subject or object. Object will become subject and the formation will like that. Subject plus will be. Will be. Will be here all the time, will be come. Subject will be plus verbs third form plus by plus object. So it will become like that. Subject plus will be plus verbs third form plus by and plus object. This is simple future. Simple future. Now next is our conditional sentences. Now all the type we have discussed, because now I already told, I already told you for the future continuous there will be no passive voice. Now next is our future perfect tense. Future perfect. Future perfect will be active voice will be like that. He will have planted a tree. Now the formation will like that. A tree will have been planted by him. So the formation will be like that. Subject plus will plus have, that is already given. Then been plus verbs third form plus object. So this is for the future perfect tense. Now for the fourth form, once again I am going to tell you for all the continuous form, future continuous, and for all the perfect continuous, past, present and future perfect continuous. For all these four forms there is no passive voice. So this thing you have to keep in your mind. For these four tenses there is no passive voice. Got it? Rest 8 we have already discussed. Now in your book one more is given, that is conditional. If it is like that, he would plant a tree, then it will be changed like that. A tree would be planted by him. If it is perfect conditional, means would have planted. He would have planted a tree, then it will become a tree would have been planted by him. So this formation, these rules you have to learn. If it is infinitive form like a tree, he is to plant a tree, then it will be changed, or he was to plant a tree, then you have to change it like that. A tree is to have been planted by him, or a tree was to have been planted by him. So this is infinitive form, to plant, and this will be like that. Then you have to change like this. And if it is in ing form, means planting, he planting a tree, he is having planted a tree, then you have to change it like that. A tree is being planted by him, or is tree is having been planted by him. So these forms you have to learn. These are the rules regarding the change formation of passive voice. Now let's see where we can use the passive voice. Now let's see where we can use passive voice. Passive voice is used in the following situation. It is not for only English grammar, you can use in your conversation. So it is very useful for you. So you have to learn the use of passive voice. First of all, to eliminate the mention of the agent. Ravi was found sleeping. by what is the agent here, who is the agent here, that is nothing, that is not important. That's why we can eliminate sometime passive voice. So it can be used like this. So in which cases we are not using the subject, we are not putting the agent, that are when subject is unknown, means someone, like vague words are there na, someone, somebody, one, like that. When that are vague words are there subject, so we are eliminating the subject in that cases. Or when the subject is obvious, obvious means the thief was caught. Now you know by whom the thief was caught, police. So it is obvious the subject is which is the subject here. So in that cases also you can eliminate the subject agent. And not important, when the agent is not important, yeah, otherwise you don't want to take the responsibility, then you can leave the agent there. Got it? So when it is not important, you like my purse was stolen. Now you know by whom the purse was stolen, ये known भी है, obvious भी है, and sometimes it is not important to give that subject. So the main thing is that you have to focus on the action, what is the effect on the receiver, that you have to focus. So in that cases you have to use the passive voice. और when the to shift the focus of the subject, means subject के ऊपर focus नहीं करना चाह रहे हो आप, you want to focus on the action which is done on the receiver, which is the effect you want to show, okay, what effect is being done on that. So you want to change the focus on, not on the subject, you want to give the focus on the object. So in that cases you will eliminate the subject or agent there. Now next, to give emphasis to recipient of the action, I already told you, means recipient or receiver, आप उस पर emphasis करना चाहते हो, you don't want to give emphasis on the subject, there you passive voice will use. Like English is spoken all over the world, by whom or that is not important, the thing is that English is being spoken. So this is the important thing here. So this is the recipient of the action, this is being important, that you already want to discuss. Then to make impersonal statement, sometimes impersonal statements are there. It is said that prices of pulses will fall. Who said that? That is not important. The thing is that impersonal statement, impersonal or personal statement, I will give you some example afterward what are impersonal or personal statement and how you can use it. To describe a process, like first the milk is boiled, then the sugar is added, this is the process when something recipe you are making na, in that cases when you are describing that recipe and the process, in that you will use the passive voice. And then to define something, a word used to describe an action is called a verb, like that. So when you are describing something, defining something, there also you are using passive voice. To narrate an incident or event, sometime any incident or event is happened, that is told in the passive voice. Like man was stopped by the police, this is the incident, so it we have described in a passive voice. Prize distribution will be held, sometime we will write, and prize distribution was held in the auditorium. So this event we described in a passive voice. Now to describe historical or social incidents, like the first modern Olympic games were held in Athens, Greece. Were held is a your past form, है ना, in the passive voice. The third battle of Panipat was fought between Marathas and Afghans. This is also a passive voice. Bhakra Nangal Dam was inaugurated by Pandit Nehru. This is also a past, simple past, and then it is changed to passive voice. Now next, use of passive voice to make request and invitation. Like you are requested to address the gathering, you are requested to join us, like that. You are cordially invited to the wedding of our son. So these all are passive voice form. To warn, advise or suggest something, like plastic carry bags should be banned. Okay, like that. Capital punishment should be abolished. So should be is the form of passive voice. To write a notice, an exhibition of handicrafts will be held. So this will be with the third form is a passive voice. All the visitors are requested not to bring any bags and eatables inside the hall. So this is a notice. This is also will be in the passive voice. Any announcement, if you want to make the train to Amritsar has been delayed. So has been delayed is the passive voice of perfect tense by an hour. To classify, अगर किसी चीज़ को आप classification करना, sources of energy can be classified in two groups. So this can be classified is a passive form. So these are the uses of passive voice. Now let's see some more example, some more cases, conversion of active voice to passive voice. First, if a transitive verb has two subjects, any of object may become subject. Means I taught her English. Here, her and cooking. These both are object. So you can take it. This will you also can take it as a subject, and cooking also can be taken as a subject here. See, she, I taught. Taught is a verb's second form. So this is past, simple past tense. So how it will be changed? Firstly, object will become subject, subject will become. Firstly, we will take the her as a subject. Her will become she. She was, now it is a past form. I already told you was. Was will come verb, helping verb or auxiliary verb will become was, and then third form of verb. Taught cooking by me. She was taught cooking by me. Now this subject will become object. Now we will take cooking as a subject. Cooking was taught to her. Now it will become like this. Cooking was taught to her by me. So when two objects are there, any one of object you can take as a subject in the passive. Now second is when a prepositional verb is changed from active to passive. Prepositional verb like this, when preposition is given with the verb, like they laughed at a poor man. So at came with the verb. So this is become prepositional verb. Preposition should not be dropped. We will not leave the preposition. It will become like that. A poor man. Poor man is an object. Now it will become a subject. A poor man was laughed. Because laughed is a second form. Again was or were will come according to the subject. Then verb's third form. At will also come with the verb. Prepositional verb will come like that. Same. Then by, they will become them. So this is your second case. Third case, to change the auxiliary verbs from active to passive voice, add be. Auxiliary verbs are that which are helping verbs. You have to add be with that, like can, might. So then be will come with that, and past participle. Mona can do this sum. Mona can be done. The sum can be done by Mona. So can के साथ आप be लगा दोगे, and then verbs third form. This is also now third rule. Now fourth rule, to change imperative sentences. Imperative sentences को आप two types में change कर सकते हो, let be के साथ भी और should be के साथ भी. Like when close the window. So let the window be closed. This is the first form. Respect your elders. Your elders should be respected. The window should be closed. Like that it can come. So both way you can come. You can write it. Love the animals. The animals should be loved. Let the animals be loved. So like that, this is the two way you can change the imperative sentence. Let be or should be. When intransitive verbs are used, the change of imperative sentences into passive voice is carried out in the following manner. Like do it just now. When something order is given, so then you have to write you are ordered to do it just now. And if it is a request, then you can write is like that, you are requested to do it just now. Please do it just now. If it is like that, then if it please came, then you can write you are requested to do it just now. Sometimes transitive verbs gives the passive sense. It is called quasi passive voice. It may be changed in the passive form as like sugar tastes sweet, then it will change into sugar is sweet when tasted. Cloth feels rough, then the cloth is rough when it is felt. यहाँ पे कोई subject और object नहीं है. No one is the doer or the subject of the action, doer of the action. So these will change it to like this. Sugar is sweet when tasted. The cloth is rough when it is felt. Okay, now the seventh is, next rule is continuous form. Already we discussed the continuous forms. The passive continuous is concerned with the continuity rather than the completed state of action. Like the laborers are cutting the grass. So are cutting, this is present continuous. It will be changed like this. The grass is being cut by the laborers. Already we have discussed the formation of this sentence. In case of interrogatives, do, does, did become is, was, were according to the subject. And have plus past participle becomes have been or past participle plus past participle. Like did you stitch the shirt? Sorry, do you stitch the shirt? Do means it is present, so it will change to is, am, are according to the subject. Here subject is the shirt, then it will become is the shirt stitched by you. Then did they solve the puzzle? Now did past form, so was word according to the subject. Was the puzzle solved by them? They will become them. Subject, object, object, subject. That thing will be same. Now have they done their homework? Now has or have will be same like that. Only been will come. So has their home, has the homework. अब their homework नहीं आएगा. Has the homework been done by them? If you will write like that, okay, that have their homework been done by them, then it is also okay. Has the homework been done by them? This is also okay. Now next is impersonal use. I already told you impersonal use, we will use the passive voice like that. It is hoped that, when we are writing it is hope that, this is a impersonal use, or people hope that, impersonal use. It is said that, residents say that, it is believed that, the patients believe that, like that. We will use the impersonal use for the for passive voice. Then avoiding vague words. Vague words, when I told you, when it is unknown, indefinite, subjects are like that, then we will use eliminate it. Like passive voice, when the passive voice is used by when we wish to avoid such vague words, जैसे कि someone, a person, etc. ये जो है मतलब here particular subject is not there, only someone, a person is given, that you can eliminate. Like after my lecture I was asked by someone or somebody, like that कुछ भी आ सकता है, तो there you can avoid it. I was asked to explain a point. Then I was blamed by whom? That is no need to write. बस ये लिख दो कि I was blamed for his action. So this is a passive voice. Then passive voice is used when the subject is indefinite. Indefinite like one. The form has to be signed. किसके द्वारा? By and someone, one, कुछ भी आ सकता है, somebody. So here indefinite है, पता नहीं है कौन है. So then there you can avoid it. Passive voice is obligatory in notices. In notices you can eliminate it, like loans arranged, shoes repaired, entry prohibited. These are notices. So here no need to put the subject. So these are main rules regarding the subject, active voice and passive voice, formation of the passive voice. So please revise all the rules nicely and do your exercise. Thank you. Have a nice day. Now I am going to show you some example of personal and impersonal passive voice. Here are some impersonal voice, and then example of personal voice is given, and active voice and passive voice are given, how you have to change it when it is in different tenses. Please just have a look at this. Personal, impersonal voice. You need verb to be, that, are. So these are the verb and these are the passive words you have to use in the impersonal or personal voice. Please just have a look. These are the examples of impersonal voice. Now this is active. People believe that he lied in court. This is active. Now how you have to change it into passive? It is believed that he lied in the court. Or this is impersonal, and when you have to change it in the personal, it will become like that: he is believed to have lied in court. So this is impersonal. When it is right like that, it is believed that. And when you have to change it into personal, it will become: he is believed to have lied in court. Now see the different rules to change the tenses in personal and impersonal passive voice. This is simple present. Both way I have written personal and impersonal. This you have to see carefully. The next is present continuous. There is also personal, impersonal. Both way I have written. Now next please see present perfect, personal and impersonal. Next is past simple, personal and impersonal. And next is future simple. There are some more example of personal and impersonal uses. So please see the passive voice. I have written only passive voice, just to see personal and impersonal. So this is for your practice. These all are passive voice in personal and impersonal. When you will change it into personal or impersonal, always it will become like that: it's assumed, it's thought, it is considered. Then there will be no other form like it was or it had been like that. Nothing will come. Only it's thought, it is assumed, it is considered, like that it will come every time. And then according to the according to the other rules. Thank you. Have a nice day.